Hi Gemini, this is Joanna from Tarot with Joanna, here to do another reading. Hello, hello, hello. So Gemini, in today's reading, I'm going to give you two of the Denise Lynn Oracle cards, do your reading and then clarify it. So let us get started. All right, Gemini, see what's going on for you. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This is going to be for Gemini, 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 Gemini. Hello, Gemini. Two for Gemini for their highest good. Nice. This is beautiful. All right. So you have protected by angels. You're cherished by the angels. Wow. This is very nice. Really know that you're very divinely guided, protected by them. They even told you in your card. So it's beautiful. Believe that. Then you have valiant courage. Take action with passion. You know, find your courage, your confidence to move forward, to believe in yourself that you can create anything that you want to, especially the plans that you have for your future, for, what is that? For your future, for the things that you want, okay? So really, you know, find your confidence to do what it is that you want to do. Nice. All right, so let's see what's going on for you, Gemini. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This is for Gemini, 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 Gemini. One for the current. Let's see this. Can't see it here. Oh, there it goes. There we go. That's much better. And then I had this one. There you go. One for the situation, one for the past or now, for what's hidden. One for the hopes and fears. One for what you need to do now, what you need to work on, and the outcome. All right, so you have the Emperor. Okay, so at the end of the tarot deck, you did get the Emperor. Okay, so so you do have the Devil card here. You start off with the Devil card. I feel like at times you feel stuck, like you don't know what you're doing, like maybe you feel like you can't move forward, or maybe you know, you go back to these old patterns, the same thing over and over. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So maybe maybe there's a lot of things that are going on in your life that's keeping you, or you feel restricted. Like, okay, there's nothing else that I can do but this. You know, that kind of thing. Wow. Okay. And then you have the Four of Swords here. Four of Swords is asking you. You know, if you look at her, you know, she's pampering herself. You know, whether you're he or she, doesn't matter. Tarot has no gender, okay? It's by the picture what they go through, what you're feeling. You know, it's time to pamper yourself, to take care of yourself, you know, really do something for yourself. Love yourself. You do have the Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords is talking about, you know, speaking your mind, what you want, speaking up, really standing up for yourself, speaking your truth about things. You have the Knight of Cups here. The Knight of Cups is talking about, you know, following your heart, really following your heart and what you want to do, what you want to create. Let's see. I just feel like you just need to really follow your heart on things. And I feel like you need to have that compassion and that compassion and forgiveness also. You know, sometimes we say we have it, but sometimes it's just difficult that we don't have it in ourselves. They're asking you to have that. Okay, they're asking you to trust your intuition also. Make decisions with your heart and not your ego. You have the Page of Swords here. Let me see. You have the Page of Pentacles. I'm sorry. Page of Pentacles is talking about, you know, you could be learning something, wanting to learn something. I also feel like there's financial opportunities around you. And then there's also messages, some kind of messages here. You have the judgment card here for what you need to work on. The judgment card is talking about, you know, really like doing things differently this time. You know, maybe this is like a chance to start over. You know, maybe when, you know, like things have changed, so now use this chance, like take this opportunity to start over. You know, to, you know, maybe it's time to really evaluate your past actions, like everything that you've done in the past. Really look at that, you know. And also I feel like maybe you're wanting to go, like trying to make things different, like to a better way, you know, also here. And I feel like with this judgment, you are definitely wanting, they're asking you to change on yourself, and I feel like you're working on that. You know, like you're not gonna do the same thing over and over. You're not gonna be doing it. You're not set in your ways. You know, you're really looking at things now. And then with the Five of Swords down here for the outcome, there's still a lot of anger that you carry on with you. You know, still a lot of arguing, a lot of anger, anxiety within you, Gemini. Wow. And then you have the Emperor here. The Emperor is talking about, you know, they're asking you to step back into your power, you know, really make wise decisions, better decisions. And I also feel like, you know, you could be trying to do your own thing. Like, do your own thing. Stop doing what everybody else is doing. Do your own thing, Gemini. Wow. Very nice. Okay. All right, so Gemini, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This is for Gemini. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. Hold on, you guys. All right. Sorry. Always have to check to see if it's my babies, so it's not. So you're good. All right. All right, Spirit, this is going to be for Gemini for their highest good. Take what resonates with you, Gemini, and leave the rest. This is for Gemini. Why is the devil here for Gemini? Oh, okay, good, good, good. Okay, so they're asking you not to fall back to your old patterns, okay? Like really, really try to move past that, you know, habits, the way you're used to do things. Really move away from all that, because you don't need to. You don't want to recycle all that and go to the next phase in your life to do that. Okay, so you really need to change your patterns. Like try not to go back to those old ways. I also feel that, you know, you could be feeling stuck, but they're saying that there is a new cycle here for you. You know, there's a new path, there's a new cycle. So just know that. Also feel like you're contemplating about what you want to do next. What are your plans next? What do you want to do? You know, what is it that you know, it's like you're in your mind about, you know, well, do I do this? Am I going to go do this? Should I do this or should I not do this? You know, stuff like that. You're contemplating a decision about what you're going to do next. You're reviewing everything in your life also. You have the Four of Swords here, and why is the Four of Swords here? One more card. So you do have the Four of Swords, like I said. I mean, the Four of Swords, yes, the Four of Swords. It's talking about taking rest, loving yourself. You know, really taking it easy. You know, really giving yourself some pampering time. You know, like, you know, giving yourself some self-care, self-love is what you need. Okay, really try to rest. Okay, I know, you know, it's easier said than done, but a lot of you guys, everybody needs it, because we're going to rush into the holidays right now. We're going to go forward, but you also need to take the time to rest. Okay. So you do have the Page of Wands here. Page of Wands says that, you know, there is change coming through. For you to start something new. Maybe you are wanting to start something new, or maybe you're waiting for something new. You know, you just want something different. They're asking you to believe in yourself, to really explore different things. You know, go a different way. You know, instead of doing the same thing over and over, do it differently. You know, see what happens. They're asking you to also have optimism and to believe in yourself. with the Eight of Wands, there is going to be some kind of messages coming through. And I feel like there's going to be, all of a sudden, there's going to be changes coming in also. Messages, changes, and fast movement here. Okay. So be careful how you do things. And that's why they're asking you to rest. Right now is a time to rest. Because we have this little cycle right now where we need to be resting. If we don't rest, well, here comes the holidays. Then here comes the new year, you know. So it cycles all over again. So just know that. Time to rest, you guys. Time to rest. You do have the Queen of Wands and with the Queen, I'm sorry, with the Queen of Swords. Sorry about that. And with the Queen of Swords, I do feel like, you know, you need to start speaking your truth, you know, have better communication, you know. I feel like you're going to have, I feel like you're going to have a lot of clarity. Like you're going to see a lot. You're not going to be afraid to be yourself, you know, no matter what. You know, don't be afraid to be yourself. You know, you are a beautiful person, you know, be yourself. You know, why do you want to change for somebody, and why do you have to change for somebody else? You are a unique person, so stop being afraid to be you. Wow, that's a big message there. Thank you, Spirit. You have the Knight of Cups, and why is the Knight of Cups here? One more card. Wow, look at that. So you do have the Knight of Cups here. The Knight of Cups is talking about following your heart, following your dreams, following your emotions, you know. Really follow what's in your heart, okay? Really have that compassion, that forgiveness for others. I do feel like you're definitely moving forward. I feel like you're definitely moving forward because you're also leaving something behind, you know. You're not the same person that you used to be, you know. You have definitely changed a lot because you saw a lot. And I feel also too that you also need to start taking care of yourself better, okay? Really start taking care of yourself better, Gemini, because you also have this Four of Swords again here. All right, you're going to be feeling tired. You're going to be feeling like you need to take a nap. Well, take it, okay? Really rest when you can. It's time. Oh, and again, here we go. Again, you have the Knight of Cups down here for the hopes and fears. Why is the Knight of Cups here? One more card. Wow. It's really trying to stress to take care of yourself. And that means like not miss no health appointments, no doctor's appointments, you know, really eat better, drink better, you know, so that you can feel better, you know. You know, you're very loving, you're very compassionate, you know, but the one thing that you do not do is you don't take care of yourself as well as you should. I feel like you also need to start setting boundaries around you also, you know. Like, you know, don't let anybody bring you down or tell you you're no good or you're this or you're that. You know, you need to start setting that kind of boundary to where, you know what, you're not going to listen to that negativity. You're not going to listen to that BS that they're spilling out of their mouth. You're not, you know. You need to start setting boundaries so that way that won't affect you, okay? Because you could be very loving when you want to, but nobody has the right to go and tell you anything. You know, because that affects a lot. People will tell you things to bring you down. And, you know, everybody says, you know, words don't hurt you. They do hurt. They do. Because you keep it in your mind and you replay it, you replay it, you replay it. So just know that. There is a decision that you're making also with the Two of Cups here. There could be some kind of offer coming in. I also feel like you really need to, you know, not worry about things as much as you should be. You know, I feel like there's somebody that's around you that could be helping you. Also, and I feel like there is a decision that you're trying to make, but I also feel like there's something coming in, like somebody's going to present some kind of offer to you. So they're asking you to really look at it. And then you have the Empress card here. The Empress is talking about that, you know, you're going to have a lot of ideas. I also feel like there's somebody pregnant around you, that you're picking up the energy of somebody that's pregnant, that's related to you or around you, or you could be pregnant. There's some kind of something like that. I also feel like there is some kind of abundance here, but I also feel like you're just going to have a lot of ideas to make money. Wow. Nice. And then you have the Page of Pentacles. Oh, there it is, that prosperity there. You have the Page of Pentacles. Why is the Page of Pentacles here? Oh, why? All right. So I do feel like, you're going through a lot, Gemini. You've been going through a lot. I could feel the energy, like really, like you've just been going through a lot. So you do have the Page of Pentacles, and I feel like you're wanting to learn something new. You want these changes to come through. You really do, and it's difficult. It's difficult because you want it, but it's so hard for you, to do it. Um, I feel like there's financial opportunities coming towards you. I feel like, there's messages here coming for you also. Um, hmm. Abundance is here, but there's something here about like, with the Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords shows up twice. Okay, the Queen of Swords, she's very strong-willed. She speaks her mind. She is like a Gemini, definitely. She tells you what's on your mind. Okay, so but the thing is that you know, oh, okay, wow, okay, so you're very strong-willed, Gemini. I feel like there was some kind of truth that you had to see or you had to speak about, or you found out about. There's a truth that you found out about it. There was something there. But remember that you're very strong-willed. That you're strong and you're able to handle anything that comes your way because you're the Queen of Swords, whether you're male or female. But I do feel like there is going to be a lot of emotions coming through for you. I feel like there's some kind of sadness, There's going to be sadness here. I feel like there's going to be some kind of emotions, a lot of emotions rising up. So just know that. Then you have the Judgment card. Like I said, the Judgment is talking about like, you're not the same person anymore. Like I said, you are definitely have changed a lot. But this is your time to change things. Let me see what the other cards say. Hold on. Why is the Judgment here? One more card. Okay. So like I said, the Judgment is here. This is a whole totally different, this is a whole definitely, this is a whole new thing where you can start over. Okay. Like everything that you've been through, everything that you said, everything that you've done, it's a chance for you to start over, to see things differently, to see all the past mistakes, like everything that you've done, you're really like really looking into that, looking at it, everything that has happened, everything that has been said, you're really looking at it, and you're taking it to heart, and you're really trying to change. You are definitely going through this big rebirth, this big change, this big judgment, and that's what you're going through right now. But they're just trying to tell you, make things go a different way. Go a different way about it, about different things, what you're going through. Think of it differently. Think of it as a learning lesson. Think of it as you know what? I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm not gonna go say this or do that anymore. I'm not gonna be somebody's second option anymore. Either it has to be the first or not, because they're asking you to really look at that. Okay. I feel like you're very divinely guided by the angels. You are. You have this card. You have so many angels on these cards. It's crazy. Really try to keep your emotions balanced. I know you're going to be very emotional, but really try to keep your emotions balanced regardless. Like, don't get mad or angry at people that had nothing to do with the situation. Really don't do that. Take it easy, balance your emotions, They're also asking you to really go with the flow on things, okay? Have patience for everything. Really have patience. Try to not control everything that is there, like stop trying to control the kids or, things are just nothing to do with that has nothing to do with you. Like if your kids are out there doing what they need to do or doing, and then let them. They're going to learn sooner or later. You don't need to be worrying about it. You don't need to say, well, let me go stop and go see everything, stop everything in my life so I can go be over there with them. No, no, no. You just need to just go live life. Go with the flow. Stop trying to control everything and everybody. Stop doing that. You just need to keep going forward and just go with the flow on things and have patience for everything. And then you have the Five of Swords for the outcome. Why is Five of Swords here? Wow. So you do have a lot of anger still inside you. You're very angry about things, everything that has happened, everything that has conspired, everything that has just been going on in your life. You feel angry, you feel, the frustration. You feel like, wow, why can't anything happen? Why can't anything go right? That kind of anger. But you're definitely moving away from it. You need to start taking control of things, though. Take control of everything that's going on in your life, your finances, things that you haven't dealt with. Start taking control of it, because it's going to make a big difference. They're wanting you, once you start taking control of this, finding your courage to do what you need to do what you have to do, you're going to start moving forward, because there is this, there's moving here. Some of you guys are going to be moving from resident to resident. You're going to be traveling. Some of you guys are going to be traveling, but you need to start taking control of everything that's going on in your life. Stop blaming other people for what's going on. You know, take care of yourself, set boundaries. Don't let other people tell you you're no good, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. You live your own life to yourself, okay? Because you need to. Stop listening to other people. Wow, that was so much. All right, so Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. God bless.